I thank you, Prof, for that wonderful ice-breaking, more or less. Yeah, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good
Go
afternoon. I'm supposed to read the bio of our resource person. Before that, my name is Dr. Edwin Arom. I'm the desk officer for Enugu Window on America. And I welcome every one of you to the Youth Development Series of today. And today we have a very seasoned resource person who is going to take us on the program of today. I'm very happy and honored to introduce Mr. Osazee Isonarae. He's a distinguished community leader and technology advocate, recognized for his work in digital literacy, entrepreneurship, and youth empowerment, holding degrees in electrical electronic engineering technology and education. He's currently pursuing a master's degree in computer science with over a decade of experience. Osazee has trained hundreds of young people and entrepreneurs across Nigeria to use technology effectively. He has led digital literacy and cybersecurity initiatives, organized tech boot camps, and promoted digital adoption in schools and startups. Passionate about empowering the next generation, Osazee combines practical training with confidence building to help participants thrive in a digital economy. He is married with children and dedicated to creating meaningful impact through technology. Osazee is a US alumnus of the International Visitors Leadership Program, also known as the IVLP. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together as we welcome our resource person for today, Mr. Osazee Isonarae. Thank you very much. You're welcome. Now I hand over to my colleague in Oka for the moderation, Professor Mata Egenti. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Aru, for that wonderful introduction. We'll now hand over the mic to Osage to do justice to today's topic, digital tools. I'm sure that we are ready for this lecture because we all know that we are in the digital age and all we are talking about now is what? Digital tools, AI, and all that. So we hand over the mic to him to do justice. Please get your paper and pen so that you can take notes while he presents his. Thank you very much. You have the mic.
All right, thank you very much. I like to appreciate the leadership of American Spaces Nigeria and everyone who has joined the call from all 28 centers across the country. It's 29. Okay, so it's my pleasure to join you again. I also want to especially recognize all of the young people amongst us, particularly within the age range 18 to 25, and who have deemed it fit to come around and also to begin this series. I'm optimistic that something will come out from this. By the end of your training, I want to believe that a number of the young people who are participating in this series will definitely, make some good use of the skills and get remote jobs, for employability sake. So a lot has been said about my profile, so we'll keep it simple. Once again, my name is Osazee Isonarae. I'm the team lead for Youth Resource Center in Osogbo, and I'm very enthusiastic about helping young people to transform their lives. And rather than saying there's no job, but rather to get skilled and get themselves going, get themselves pushing, because as far as the country is concerned, where we recognize the fact that there's a lot of competition with the white collar job. There's a lot of competition with the formal jobs, but there's still a whole lot of opportunities that are open up to young people who could work from anywhere they want to or they choose to, once they have access to internet and they have access to their mobile phone or to their computer. As an organization that I lead our Youth Resource Center, the staff that we have on site is less than 8, but we have a number of staff spread across the entire country, with the help of digital tools and devices. So it's really very simple and easy. And so I want to believe that as many persons who are also going through this series, that you will make good use of it, and then that you will practice. It's one thing to listen, it's one thing to learn, but if you don't go practicing, it doesn't become yours. The skill that becomes yours is the skill that you practice. The one you just heard or the one you just listening to, it does not eventually become yours. So I want to challenge and encourage everyone who's going through the course to ensure that you practice, steadily. Thank you very much. All right. So how to work smart with American technologies, building on words, order, lessons or skills that you must have had, in time past. My slide is quite very simple and very few slides, so I'll be speaking into them. I also want to ask that if we have some persons who may want to put on their laptop on their phone while we are talking so that we can practice certain things, please feel free, to do that as long as you're not distracted with other things. If you're able to flow through, the instructions and you're able to practice, that'll be very fine. And if you're not, then you should be able to put down the website down, put down notes so that you can practice after now. A brief about the objective for this hands-on demonstration, and then we're going to do some group activities, and then we'll take some questions and answers, and then we'll call it a day. But it is for the hands-on demonstrations that I do wish that as many who can use their phones or you have a laptop close to you, to practice as we facilitate. So by the end of this session, we expect that you would have understood how to at least work smarter with US digital tools. There are quite a number of them. For the brevity of time that we have, we're likely going to be looking at just few. And even the few we'll be highlighting, we may not be able to do hands-on on every one of them, but we will just run through a number of them. And then you would have had hands-on experience, with tools like Google, tools like Slack, Trello, Canva, Eventbrite, and we will also try to see how to integrate a couple of these tools together. And then after that, we'll also be able to achieve increased proficiency in these tools. I would also, at some point, be taking off my slides so that I can share practically on some of those tools and how to navigate them. But meanwhile, this is just a little icebreaker. So at the end, towards the tail end of this session, I would like that we have 2 groups, or rather, I'm not sure how we're going to do it now, just to evaluate and to be able to make sure that we practice. We should have like 2 groups and your responsibility will be to organize a youth conference, a youth meetup conference, with 4 of these different tools we're going to talk about. You will integrate 4 of these different tools, to come up with a webinar, a conference, and you're going to engage, on the platform. I'm not so sure if we should do it window by window, but my thought is that we're likely going to have all of the windows, all of the spaces in the north, create, a platform where you can have that, and all of the windows in the south also create a platform where you can have that, and then you can interact, probably using tools like Slack, Trello, and saving your work in a Google Drive, and then hosting on Zoom or something. So, but just to help you engage with other people using the tools. So probably at the end of this course, we may ask the moderator to guide us, all right? So that particularly for those who are participating on site, because I'm sure on-site participants will be entitled to certificate. So you should be giving certificate for what you have practiced as well. All right. So the first set of tools we're going to look at are what we call the productivity tools. And the sample we're going to look for these productivity tools are the Google Drive and OneDrive. So you would allow me just take off my slide now so we can open up to, but meanwhile, for the benefit of a few, I guess, who may not be aware about or may not know, have used Google, platform so much. As soon as you registered on a Google or you have a Google account, you create a Google account, particularly say maybe you have a Gmail account, you are entitled to some amount of storage, cloud storage, which you can use to store any kind of information, whether audio, video, or text, whatever. Google Drive is part of the functions or features that comes with you registering, a Google account. And I always like to use, Google compared to several other contemporary tools because Google has a way of synchronizing everything that you do together. So if you have a Gmail account, you have at least about 16 gigabytes that you can use to store videos, store whatever in the cloud. And many people have really not maximized, this feature in Google. Take, for example, your certificates. You don't necessarily have to carry your certificates everywhere you go to. It's something that you can just organize within your Google Drive. Create a folder for it, organize it, and leave it. At any point in time, you need to refer to it. Even if you need to print it out, you could just get somewhere, get to a business center, and you can download it from your Google Drive and print it out. So what that means is that you always have access to your information, to your documents, to whatever you have kept there. So it's very beneficial, and also very helpful in collaborations. If you want to work with people on a particular project, say, for example, there's something we call Google Doc, Google Sheets, and the like. If you want to work with people who are in different continents, different countries, whatever, probably on a project or on a report, Google Drive is something you can equally use, right? And I think in this part of the world, Google Drive is more popular than OneDrive, okay? In the US, OneDrive seems to be more popular, but here, Google Drive seems to be very popular. And so, because it is linked to your email, your Gmail, it makes things very, very much easier for you. So you can store and organize your files in the cloud. And so I remember the first time I was having my NYC here in Osogbo many years ago. Some people came into the house we were living and carried away with some of our devices, our laptops, our phones. It was so painful because I had a lot, while we were in school, where I was leaving school, 2008, 2009, there were a lot that we gathered on our laptop because we're going apart from our friends. A lot of our friends who had one or two informations, we have brought everything into our laptop. So the laptop carried all the details. So as soon as the laptop was stolen, I lost all my details. It was at that point in time I realized that it is very risky and dangerous to keep important files on your personal computer. It's best to keep it on a cloud, on a secured cloud storage. And of course, Google Drive is one of those secured cloud storage that you can keep your personal documents in. So it's to store and organize files in the cloud. It's also to collaborate in real time. I spoke about that before. You have a Google Doc, and then it's a document, and then people could, join at any time and wherever they could be to continue to work on that particular doc. Take, for example, you're a student, and you want to connect with a student in another school, and you both want to work on your projects together. So you can open a Google document and you can be working on it, and it's cloud saving automatically while you are working. So that's another very amazing, benefit, of having, Google Drive. And of course, like I said, you can access this from anywhere. So a simple activity just to walk you around, Google Drive or OneDrive, as it were. I will share. Okay, so if you could see my screen, okay, let's use this. So, for example, this is your email, all right? This is your email. If you have a Gmail account, it's usually in this format. And then you need to access your Google Drive. You come to where you have your picture, in your email, and you click on the app section. There's a number of apps that you can see where my mouse is. I hope it's clear. So you click on that portion and you see a number of apps there, including your Drive. Even though we are paying attention to just the Drive, this is the Drive that we're talking about, but there are a lot of other applications, that you can easily use on your Gmail. So once again, as soon as you open a Gmail account, which is free for you to open, and as young people, for the people who are here who are still very young, who do not have an email account, or you don't have access to devices, I think it's important that once you get to 18 years, you can create an account for yourself. And even if you are below 18 years, you can create a supervised account like I did for my children. And of course, you can link it with a Google Linktree, to your own personal account. I mean, talking to the elderly ones now, if you want to still have a Google account for your child, that is still very, very possible. You create the Google account, because I created a very beneficial. So we're going to Google Drive, but there are several other apps that you can use here, right? This is Google Doc that we mentioned about. If you click on this Google Doc, you can collaborate real time, right? Let's click on Google Doc, for example. Let's see. If you click on this Google Doc and you click on a blank document, which is like your Microsoft Word, right? So you can use this tool, all right, to collaborate. By collaborating, I mean that while you're typing here, you could easily come here and share this link. You see this share here. You can easily share this link with someone else who you think would like to collaborate with you, right? So if once you just a minute. Yeah, so this is the share link. This is the share button. So if you put the person's email address here and you click done, all right, the person will get an email calling the attention of that person to come and collaborate with you. What that means is that when that person receives the email, because you have shared this document with that person, while you're typing here, you can see the cursor of the person typing here as well. So both of you will see that whatever you are typing here, the person is equally typing. Say you have to fill, maybe you have a data entry job and you need some persons to join you to fill it together. So this is a tool that you can also use, in your Google tool. Let's go back to the other applications that are here. Of course, YouTube, but I want us to go to Drive. That's our major, destination. So you click on Drive. This is the Drive that gives you access to your storage facility, your cloud storage facility. Once again, whatever you save here is saved on cloud, and it's quite very secured. As long as you do not release your email password, your Gmail password, to anyone, you have it secured. All right. And I also encourage that for security purpose, you should always perform what we call two-factor authentication on your Gmail or your Google account. It's very important because as soon as you start storing information on your Google Doc, on your Google Drive, then you know that you need to secure the account beyond just your password. So two-factor authentication is like adding your phone number or another email, such that if anybody gets your password and tries to sign in, you would definitely get a prompt, And so this is my drive, for example. And when you look at the drive, you see that there are a number of documents there, my personal documents, right? And you see that some of them are arranged in folders. So if you open this folder, you see, pictures. There are pictures of programs we have done in the past that is fully secure there. These files are very heavy, right? And so you can always retrieve it from here at any point in time, okay? And for you to create a new folder, if you follow my mouse, you come here, you click on new. When you click on new, you will see new folder, all right? And you see file upload or folder upload. So for example, if you already have a Microsoft document that you want to save to your cloud, you just click on file upload. And when you click on file upload, then you'll be able to it opens up to wherever you saved that document in your computer, and then you can click on it. And when you click on it, a file or folder, and then you can upload it. So this is how to create more folder. You can click on this new folder, and then you title the folder. You can title it Digital Tools, for example. Digital Tools, and you create. So if you create that folder and you see the Digital Tools folder is already created here. So if there are digital tools or lessons you are learning you want to put in that folder, you simply put it there. The difference between doing this and your normal computer appreciation tools that you've learned, just like creating folder in your normal computer lessons, is that this is automatically stored to the cloud. It's automatically stored to the cloud. You don't necessarily have to control save, right? If you've been to computer school to teach you, how to control save and all of that. But if you keep working around this, you don't have to do all that. So that is how the drive operates. And you can have your folders and you can have your documents, whatever, in the drive. All right. So let's get back to, and it's the same thing for OneDrive. Okay, it's the same thing for OneDrive. I think I have, yeah. So this is OneDrive here. It's virtually the same thing. Okay, but I think there's something I needed to quickly show you still in the drive, just to show you how you can also monitor your storage capacity. Okay, so if you look at your email, your Google Drive, all right, and you scroll down, look at the left-hand corner, you will see something around this place. It says 5.16 gigabyte of 15 gigabytes used, right? You see it somewhere here. What this means is that you are entitled to 15 gigabyte, and you have only used 5.16 gigabyte, right? You see, there's a whole lot of storage facility that you have on cloud. Ever before you say you want to pay money for premium Google Cloud services, all right? By the time you exhaust this 15 gigabyte, you may now have to subscribe to what we call Google, Google One, where you have options to increase this to about 100 gigabyte, 200 gigabyte, or even 2 terabytes and above, because for that you have to pay in dollars. But this is something available that many of us can easily use. And at some point in time, you feel you cannot, you are completely, exhausting this 15 gigabyte. You could check if you have another Gmail account. It comes with this same size, of storage facility. All right. So let's continue with this. So if you are following and you want to practice, you have that little activity there for you to just simply practice. You can leverage on the internet service at the window or the space that you are currently. Now, the next set of tools app, what we call project management tools I like to share with you, Notion and Trello. They pretty do the same thing. They help to organize your tasks and your workflow, give you some way of tracking your projects visually, and also helps team to collaborate. I think we would use Trello to try to demonstrate this as much as we can. But like I said before, many of these tools are free. You can register for the account for free, and you still have access to several features that are available for free. There are a few features, of course, that you will still have to go premium for you to use those features. But let's check out Trello, for example. Now, Trello is very helpful with helping you to organize whatever task you are doing with your team. Take, for example, you have a group of 3 to 5 people working on a startup. You work in a startup, or you have a particular project. It could even be a student project or whatsoever that you wish to do, just like we have here. This is Trello app. This is what Trello app looks like basically when you sign up for Trello app. Of course, to sign up, just go to trello.com, trello.com, and you can create an account for yourself, because this tool called Trello is a very vast app, and it's one of those tools that you can integrate, with several other tools to accomplish a whole number of tasks. For example, while you're on Trello, you can link your email here, such that the email can come to, if you're here, you can receive the email sent to your inbox here while you're on Trello. You can equally link another tool called Microsoft Teams here, right? And you can link another tool called Slack here. You see the beautiful part of this integration. We'll be talking about it later, but just to let you know that if you open an account on Trello, you can link these tools together, and it could help organize all that you do across all of these platforms. Take, for example, this is a project I'm working on Trello with my team, right? On this project is a mobile app called BizGrowth mobile app. Now, we decided to go on Trello so that we can manage all that we are doing within the app. So on your Trello, you see things like to-do list, all right? So you see things like to-do list, and when you look at your to-do list, it basically carries the things that you want to do. Now, don't forget that on the Trello app, you have several people who are on the same Trello app. You are working together. On this particular BizGrowth project, you can share, like we did for Google Drive. There are a number of persons who are supposed to be in your organization, or you are working with, who you want to be part of this. These are the existing persons who are working on this current project they are working on. But you can add more persons by just typing the email here and click on share. So that means that for about 5 to 6 persons who are working on this app, these are the to-do list, right? Now, and then this is what we call in progress. These are the tasks that are currently going on. Okay, let me break it down a little bit so that you can understand. For example, this is a project that we are building, is a mobile app. And the mobile app, these are several pages that we are building on the app. And there are different people working on these parts. This is a forgot password on the app. This is a biometric on the app. This is where you add income on the app, where you log expenses. This is where you update, the inventory on the app. This is bookkeeping for accounting and all of that on the mobile app. So while these disjointed parts of the app are being worked on, right, by different, team members, it shows that these ones are what the project team needs to do. And then on this same Trello, this shows that these are the things that are in progress. But then there's a last one that shows what has been done. So everybody, while working, no matter the number of persons working on a particular project, and that's why we call this tool a project management app, you could see what is completed, what is in progress, and what has not been done, right? You could easily see it. And if this is completed and you are the project manager or something, or the product manager, you can easily add another list by clicking this and set another list that needs to be done. So it makes a whole lot of sense, and it makes it very easier to organize and coordinate a set of people who are working from different environments, even from the same environment, but these are the group of people working on this particular project, and you can track them. And of course, you can connect a calendar to it. There are a lot of features that you can use on Trello. So it's something that, like I always say to many young people, you don't wait until you start working in a startup or in a large organization before you get yourself acquainted with tools like this. Sometimes when people are going to employ, they ask you, what digital tools could you use? So again, if you can prove that, even there are cases where people fail written tests, but then they say, okay, we can use this tool, or I can use this tool, and they could get the job. Because what is important is your ability to come into the system and be able to deliver. And of course, job recruiters are looking for people who are already trained, who have equipped themselves, and so they don't have to spend so much money, training you, and spend so much time as well. So if you're already trained and equipped in some of these digital skills, it positions you, for, a good job. All right. Okay. So, and like I said earlier, with Trello, you can link several other, project management tools and other communication tools, together, and you can track, progress. You can really track real-time progress as you go along with Trello. Okay. Notion is basically the same thing, and is a tool you want to explore as well. But you could easily just go to that and also create an account, for yourself. All right, the next tool we'd like to talk about is the communication tools. Of course, in this case, we have Zoom and we have Slack. Okay, so I know that Zoom is very popular, but among developers, among digitally inclined, people, they prefer Slack. A lot of us use Slack in our conversations as well. Again, Slack is actually for text messaging, like chats, you can share file through it, and of course you can integrate your app in Slack. Once again, Slack is something that some persons may be hearing it for the first time, but I'm sure nobody amongst us is hearing Zoom for the first time. Virtually everyone, knows that when it comes to virtual meeting, the platform we are using right now is equally Zoom, right? But for Slack is very professional, in several organizations, and I want to encourage as many young persons to get onboarded Slack and learn how to navigate on Slack. Now we're going to do a bit of that, shortly. Once again, Slack helps for team messaging, file sharing, and app integration. I'll just open my Slack. I think I have it open here. No, this is Teams. Yeah. Okay, here you go. All right. So you go to slack.com, you can Google Slack or go to slack.com, and you could create an account for yourself in Slack. Let me also say here at this point that if you have a Gmail account, so that there are many things you need to register, and then you don't want to be having too much of your password, how you remember your password, you can easily use the sign in with Google always. There's always a sign in with Google when you're opening these platforms, and it's very helpful because it helps you synchronize all of your tools together. So this is Slack, for example, and one of the things Slack helps you to do is that Slack is also very, very versatile. It's a very versatile tool that you could use, for, organizing programs, for putting teams together, can have breakout sessions. You can use it for like chat rooms and all of that. You can share files across, and it can host as many as possible, on Slack. And this is just an example of how Slack is being used. You have your home, you have your DMs, right? It is in your DMs that you have private messages. This is a recent conference that was done, and Slack was used to organize this conference. Prior to the conference, everyone who had registered for the conference were told to come aboard on Slack. So it's a community building platform that you can use to prepare, engage people before the program, within the program, and to track follow-up even after the program. And though we are done with this program, for example, but there's still a lot of, there's a reading group open up here. So we're studying or reading. And again, these are things that you could still enjoy the free tier, options of some of these tools, and you do not necessarily need to pay, to get the premium. So it's something that you want to also lay your hands upon and work that out. All right. And this is where the files are as well. So that is Slack for you. And you, like I said, you can use that, as much as you want for free. And it's very helpful. So another activity I like you to do right away is you could open to Slack right away, or you want to note it down and try to sign up on Slack. It's for free. Just sign up and have an account, on Slack, and navigate through it to see how easy it is for you. All right. Let me say a little about Zoom. One of the beautiful things about Zoom as well is that Zoom has what we call breakout rooms. Okay. It has what we call breakout rooms, whiteboards and polls. Most times you want to go on Zoom, I think there's a general perception that, a lot of features are not available on the free tier of Zoom, the free version of Zoom. And so you have to go on premium before you get those features. But I think a whole lot of features are actually there on the free tier. The only challenge is that you can't do beyond 40 minutes. So then if you want to do beyond 40 minutes, you have to go on premium Zoom. Take, for example, this breakout room. Sometimes people find it difficult. I've seen difficulty in finding out what breakout rooms, how you could use breakout rooms in Zoom. Breakout rooms are opportunity for you. Everyone comes on Zoom call like we are right now. And then let's assume we have a large portion of time that we say, okay, we want to really, break out into smaller groups. For those who are within age 18 to 25, come to one room on the same Zoom account. Those who are, age 30 above, come to another room. So we can have like 3 to 4 breakout room sessions for focused discussions. You must have joined meetings where that happens, and then you say, okay, they say join this room and all of that, and a lot of several other settings that you could find out in Zoom. So by default, things like breakout rooms and several other features are not activated. So it is your responsibility to ensure that your Zoom account that you want to use, you have gone through your settings to ensure that you activate, all the things that you need. I think my Zoom, okay, yeah, this is, now mind you, you can't do several, there are limitations of settings you can do on these tools with your mobile devices. For you to really, maximize and engage these tools very well, it will be very good that you use their web versions rather than just their mobile phone versions. All right. So this is my web version of my Zoom account, for example. And what you should do is if you want to check all of the settings that are in your Zoom and those that are not, what you do is that you can come, to, this is home. This is home. Okay, I think it's already open on settings. So once you sign up on Zoom, right, this will be open to you, and this is home. Of course, you can manage your plan here if you want to increase, you want to purchase the Zoom premium. But where I'm going to is to take you to your settings. So this is my account in Zoom. If you are using Zoom Web, you go to your account. If you click on your account, you will see settings. So when you open up the settings, then you'll be able to access several default settings that you can change. Okay, so these are the several settings you can change, right? You can go to general and see the settings. You will see buttons like this, that you can put on and off, right? If you go down, you see a lot of buttons. So you come to meeting, for example, and if you come to meeting, you would see a lot of buttons you need to enable. Okay, waiting room, all right, passcode and all that. And if you take your patience to go through all of them one after the other, and if you go down, if you don't want people to chat in Zoom, this is where you turn it off. If you go down, you will see where they have, breakout rooms. Okay, screen sharing. If you don't want people to share screen, right? I'm able to share my screen right now because obviously the Zoom account we're using allowed it. If I don't want people to share their screen while I am hosting on my Zoom account, I turn this off. So this is it is on this setting that you do all of this. All of this. And so we have, I'm trying to look for the breakout. Right. Here we go. You see this place right now. You see breakout rooms, right? Allow hosts to split meeting participants into separate smaller rooms. So by default, this is always off. You know, when you register on a Zoom account, by default, is always off. All right. So if you want that feature on, that's what I'm trying to bring up here. Make sure that this is turned on. Now, as simple as these tools looks like, right? There are a lot of people who earn a lot of money from managing these things for several small organizations and even large organizations. All right. And so I want to really encourage that we take this serious and do all we can to continue to practice. So that's that about Zoom. And then we have personal branding tools, Canva and LinkedIn. This is another tool I like to talk about. So for this tool, this is for your personal branding, right? You know, you want to design your graphics. I would have loved to also speak more about LinkedIn, but I understand that the next part of this series is going to be dealing with, you know, productivity. So I'm sure that you're going to get a whole lot around LinkedIn. But let's look at Canva, which is something very, very simple that you can lay your hands upon and you can learn to use it within the next 5 minutes. Very simple. So let's open up Canva. You just go to Canva. You can Google Canva and it comes out and you just log in. Yeah, if you need to put on your laptop, yeah, absolutely. You can put on your laptop. Now, this is Canva. Just go to canva.com. All right. Perhaps I should give you some time to open that up. I would like you to really practice with this because graphic designing is becoming very expensive, you know. So, and there's a whole lot you can do with Canva also, which is an amazing tool actually. You can do a lot if you just learn the skill. So if you go to canva.com and then you click on sign up, all right, you just sign up, you know, by filling your details. And once again, to make it very fast, sign up with Google. When you sign up with Google, it just, you know, logs you in, right? So because I was going to speak on this today, I deliberately used this Canva to prepare my slides. So you can use Canva for, it's a very vast tool. You can use it for a lot of, you know, tasks. You can use it for your presentation slide. You can use this for graphics, for your social media, for your LinkedIn. You can use it for your website, and so on and so forth. So it's a personal branding tool, right? So on your Canva, you can have all your projects in one place in these two core projects. So I'll take you around a few portions of Canva right now. So in these two core projects, you can have all your projects here, including the projects that you are doing with other people. It will equally show there. Now, if you go back to the home, you want to start a new work in Canva, you can either start from here, you can create from here. Now, let's say, for example, you want to create a graphics design using this tool. You have a meeting coming up and it's a volunteer association or something, and somebody is even asking you, can you help us design graphics? You say, yes, I can design graphics. There are a lot of templates you could easily edit here and gives you your graphics. You don't need to wait for people. Sometimes, you know, a lot of people come here to do that graphics for you and then you pay them money. So why don't you just learn, you know, to sign up an account with Canva? And it's something that with Canva, you can easily do a graphics design or do a presentation in less than 2 minutes. Let's assume you wanted to do a presentation or a graphic design to promote this particular skill, you know, that you are learning. So they say search millions of templates here. You could just put, say, you know, digital designs, right? And you could see options coming out. If you are on Canva, once you click on that first button that has search, You see options coming out, digital marketing, digital product. What exactly do you want to promote, right? Maybe it's a digital product, okay? You can click on digital product and several templates will come out to you. These are graphics design. These are designs that you can simply just edit. You can replace this with your picture. You can replace this with your name. You can replace, you could do anything by simply clicking on it and changing what you want to change on that particular, flyer. And you can go on and on and on. All right. So you see there are a lot of templates, but mind you, even though there are a lot of templates here, you have to watch out for templates that do not have a golden crown. There's always a golden crown attached to premium templates. The template with a golden crown, always at the bottom right, signifies that you will have to pay. You will have to go premium for that particular template to be unlocked. So it is locked, though you like it, but you can't use it. And I don't think Canva is so expensive, so you can get a premium Canva. And if you get premium Canva, you may sack your graphic designer because you may not need your graphic designer again, because when you pay for the premium Canva, then it's going to open up a whole lot of more, beautiful templates that you could use, for your particular design. You can equally come to this tool at the left-hand corner here called template, and you click on it. And when you click on that template, you can see a whole lot of templates. You can streamline those templates. These templates you are looking for, you want education, you want something that is visual video, you want something on business, you want something for social media. You can streamline down templates and you can see a whole lot of templates that you can use. All right. So you can click on photos and you can see, a whole lot of templates as well you can use, for photos. Just choose whatever you want. You can click on graphics and so on and so forth. So going back to home, you realize that there's a lot you can do here, but it's very helpful if you can simply click on what exactly you want to do among several lists of templates that are open here. You can see more by clicking here, and you see a lot of templates. Is it a course you are running? Is it a presentation? Is it a document? Whatever it is. Is it a common layout you just want? Is it an office and business stuff? Is it a marketing promotion and whatever you want to do? Is it a phone wallpaper? Is it a comic strip? So it's a very versatile tool that you can use for your graphics design. Let's imagine we want to do something on youth webinar. And how do you simply get your hands around it? Say Youth Day, for example. Want to do something on Youth Day. Okay, so these are templates on Youth Day, right? And we want to do something on this. Look at this particular template, for example. It looks very nice. So let's click on it and see if we can edit this, right? It said customize this template. So yes, we will customize this template and see if we can feed it with our own details, and then we could download it, and then you could share as your own graphics that you have done. So Youth Day is coming, or whatever day is coming. How do you edit this? So looking at this, for example, when you move your mouse over it, you see that it's moving. You can change anything. You can click on this place, double click on it, and then you can change the date from 12 August to 12, or to 09 September, that today is. So that's that. And then you can look at what they have here. It says International Youth Day, right? So if this is International Youth Day, can we change this picture to your picture or to a collection of pictures of people that you already have that you want to use? Maybe people your church or your mosque or whatever. So you can click on this picture. You can click on the template. Okay, so this particular template is you can move this out, and you can click this and move this out. And just in case you forget any of the things you have done before, you can simply Control Z. Click on an empty screen and Control Z. All right, and it comes back. Or you can use these two arrows here. This is undo and redo. All right, for whatever you need to do, right? Take, for example, you make a mistake on it. So how do you bring in pictures here? You can click on this place and simply go and import a picture that you want to bring, for this. And you can import the picture from your computer. You can either drag or, and even if you don't want to drag, let's use this picture. You can drag it directly there. Or if you don't want to drag, you can simply, copy and paste. So you can reduce the size of the picture. And mind you, there are flexibility with which you can work with several templates, okay? So you can do something simple like this. You can change background if you wish to change. And yeah. So whatever you wish to do, I don't think I'm a good graphic designer, but this is how you can work around this. You can change whatever is written here, to your name. But this is where I'm going to. By the time you are done working with this particular graphics, you just come to this place. You now want to download it. You come to this place and you click share. And when you click share, you see a downward arrow here that signifies download. And when you click on that downward arrow, it says, how do you want to download this? Do you want it as a PNG file that is in a high resolution that is suggested for you because of graphics? Or you want it as JPEG, or you want it as PDF, whatever it is. If it was a video, you can also click on video. So, but I think PNG is fine. And then you click on download. And when you click on download, it just downloads, and you have your graphics, and you can always go and open it, and share. And you could rename it, and, you could share with whoever you want to share with. So that is what, Canva is about. I think it's still downloading. All right. It's still downloading. Okay, yeah. So you could open to see the graphics that you have designed. So this is what you have just downloaded. So with that, you can always do simple graphics for yourself, and you can always share. Of course, you can change the name by renaming it. All right. So let us get back to other tool. And then for LinkedIn, I would advise, for as many of you who are not yet on LinkedIn, if you are still very young, and you are not on LinkedIn, I think it is important for you to open a LinkedIn account and begin to grow your LinkedIn profile. All right. Unless you are going to use money, to grow your profile. But if you want your profile, to become a very strong profile, a very visible profile that, job seekers can see and contact you, then I think it's important that you start being intentional about your profile. I think I have a LinkedIn account open here. Just a brief overview. Yeah. So this is my personal LinkedIn account. Okay. And you could see that from this LinkedIn account, you can always attract followers, and you can always post whatever so you can have a cover photo like this. You can have your profile picture, and just open the account and continue to make posts that are consistent to your particular job profession or what you want people to know about you. Don't forget, like we said, Canva and LinkedIn, as we're introducing them, they are to help you, brand yourself or your business, right? They are personal branding tools. So on my own LinkedIn profile, you will see a number of posts here, all right? And this post helps people to engage you, okay? They help people to engage you. Like what we're having today, I had posted it earlier today for people to join. And of course, you have what we call feature on LinkedIn. It's like a headline. It's just like your headline. So if you click on any of your posts and make it a feature, then it will definitely show, like a headline whenever people visit your LinkedIn. So, but I believe that you're going to work around Zoom. You're going to do more on Zoom, using Zoom for your productivity in the next session. All right. Okay. So I think we should move forward with, okay, now we have event management tool. Now, Eventbrite is one popular event management tool that you can equally use to create events. All right. Take, for example, you want to have a conference and you also want to manage that conference, particularly to be able to promote it and see the number of persons who are registering for that event. Although you could use your Google Drive, or Google Forms, right? Google Forms to equally do this, but Eventbrite is a better event management system that you could use, to do that. Again, it is simple. You simply go to Eventbrite, on Google and click on it and register a free account for yourself. And it's something that you can simply use to organize events and programs. Let's see if we have anything on Eventbrite here. Okay, so I think this is Eventbrite. Okay. Sorry, I think my laptop is going off. Please, could you help me with the charger? All right. So this is Eventbrite, right? And it's pretty simple as well. You just go to eventbrite.com, and when you do, create a free account for yourself. All right, create a free account for yourself. And it's as simple as this for you to add a date, for you to add your location, for you to, if you have a flyer for the event, you can click on this and upload the flyer from your computer or wherever you have it saved in. And then this is just a draft. And then you can click here and put the name of the event you want, the event title, write a brief paragraph about the event, and the date and time and all of all that. And when you're through, you can save and continue. And there are a lot of features you can use on Eventbrite that you may not find, on Google Forms if you're just using Google Forms. So again, it's something that you want to consider, because usually most organizations, use Eventbrite, and you can link it with your calendar, to create their events and to track, the people who are registering. And of course, if you have an account on Eventbrite, you can also see some of the events, that are coming up. And so it's pretty simple to use and to also manage a free account on your Eventbrite. So, okay, I think I spoke about this before. I just speak about it again. Now, the challenge for you is to use at least 3 tools to draft a mini project for a youth conference, and see how 3 to 4 of these digital tools really work, together to help to organize and coordinate whatever you are doing. For example, the particular task you want to do, you can manage it in your task management with Trello. We'll open Trello for you the other time. If you look at, this is a task, for example, I'm working on, is base growth, is a mobile app, that we're launching, that we pre-launched already, but we're working on a few parts of the app. So this is a task management tool. We're using Trello to work on that particular task. And then you can use Slack to do the communication, to engage people on that communication. For example, if we have a lot of people that we are working on this mobile app, let's assume it was a conference, that we are planning for. So we can use Slack to communicate all that we want to communicate within this BizGoat conference. Let's open Slack and see. For example, what is default on my Slack currently now is this USinNigeria. It's a conference, right? So let's assume the people working on this conference, they are all seeing what they are doing on Slack, right? So they all see what they are doing on Slack and on Trello, and from this Trello, they can link their Slack, right? So there is a way all of these tools can join together to really organize you and make work very simple, for you. And of course, you can incorporate your file storage, which is your Google Drive, to ensure that all the videos, all the recordings of the meetings, Zoom meetings that you're using, you can store all of them in your Google Drive. And of course, you can have frequent meetings on Zoom. You can host frequent meetings on Zoom to ensure that you are on track. And so 3 to 4 of these tools can really be integrated together to help your work, very, very smart. And learning to navigate all of these tools really pays, it goes a long way to help your productivity. This is a challenge I like to put forth to, moderators. I just like that, especially our young people who are participating at the centers, if we can group them into 2 groups, or as you prefer, to use at least 3 to 4 of these tools, right, to organize a youth meet and greet, which will be like a webinar, maybe before the end of the course, before their certificate, and then they can conference with it. But they should use at least 3 to 4 of these tools, go on Canva, and while they're on Canva, they can share among themselves. Every one of them can collaborate on Canva, and then they can go on Trello or on Slack, for example, and they can discuss on Slack about how they are going with the project at their various locations. And then they can get on Trello to initiate the project. On the Trello, you're saying what has been done, what needs to be done, and what has not been done. And then they can all also monitor it there, and possibly they can use a Google Drive, a centralized Google Drive, to store, or use a Zoom account to have a 30 minutes frequently, as to monitor the progress of what they are doing. So I think at this point, we want to give room to some questions, and then the next steps is what I would say. I would like to speak into this as your next step for you, but I will pause here so that we can take questions from our different centers, and then and then I'm going to speak into these next steps, for us before we call it a day. Thank you very much, moderators. Over to you for questions now.
Wow. Let's give a round of applause to our resource persons, Mr. Osazee, for this wonderful presentation. Thank you so much, sir, for this rundown on how to work smartly using the digital tools available. As a way of recap, you mentioned how to use the Google Drive for our file storage, and then the Google Doc for collaboration if you want to work with others, no matter where they are in the world. You talked about how to manage projects using Trello and Notion tools. Then you to organize our tasks. You also mentioned communication tools such as Zoom and Slack, and then how to really brand ourselves as personal branding using Canva or LinkedIn, and then the Eventbrite for event management if we have conferences or workshops. And then I like the way you integrated all these tools, what you can do with them at each point in time. So thank you so much for this wonderful presentation. We are going to take the questions right away. And if you have any questions, please drop it on the chat box if you don't want to raise up your hand. So we are going to go from Uyo. We have some hands raised up. So Uyo, you go first. Raise your hand, unmute yourself, and then ask your question. Thank you.
All right. My question is concerning the Zoom. There was a particular feature that the man did not actually explain. That is the whiteboard. So I would like him to throw more light on how to use the whiteboard in Zoom. Then concerning the Google Drive, I uploaded my files, but I did not create it as a folder. Then how can I group those files now, which I've already uploaded into Google Drive as a folder? The files of which I've uploaded, how can I group it as a folder? Thank you.
All right, thank you. Let's take Enugu, then you take the 2 questions together. Okay. You have another question? Go ahead.
Yes, Idere, I want to find out, Mr. Osazee had mentioned that we can integrate the other apps into the Slack, into the Trello, which is the task management tool. Well, how do we integrate? How can I then integrate the other apps into it? I would like to know that. And then on the Canva, I noticed websites creating, which I would like to know the steps involved in creating such a website, what is involved, because I had already tried that, but it was a little bit complex. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Can we have Enugu? And then he will take the question before we take another set of questions. Thank you. Enugu, you have the mic.
My question is, what factors should we consider when choosing the best digital tools for a specific task? For example, if you are to choose between Slack and Zoom for a virtual meeting, and then someone else has a question, another question.
Okay, good afternoon. Thank you for the class. And my question actually is concerning Google Drive. How can I upload a link into my Google Drive? And again, if like I want someone to actually access what I have, maybe I have a video there and I want someone to access that video, is it possible to share the link of that video to the person and the person will only see the videos and not other things that I have in the drive? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you,
I
Enugu.
think we should pause the
Mr.
question because
Osazee, please, can you take these questions before we continue? Thank you.
yes, please. I think it would be best to take those ones first before we continue. Thank you very much, Prof. I couldn't really write everything, but let me start from the last person who spoke. I think you spoke about is it the Google Drive? Yes, the Google Drive. You have uploaded your files and then, but they were not in folder. So what do you do to move them to folder? So we'll just take that simple. I'm trying to as practical as possible. Take for example, we open this Google Drive, right? And okay, so it's simple. Just like you move files into your folder in a conventional computer system, it's the same way you move your files into your Google Drive. Take, for example, this is a folder, right? This is a folder. I could easily do this. Just a minute.
We can't see your screen.
Oh my God, forgive me. I stopped sharing last time. Okay, you can see now, right?
Yes,
Can you
sir.
see my screen?
Yeah,
Okay.
we can. Thank you.
Okay, so let's assume this is a folder, okay? Of course, you already know how to create a folder. You simply come here and you click on new and you title the folder and you click on create and you create it. But you're saying you already have files, right? You already have files, but these files, you need to move them into, right, your folder. So it's simple. You can easily, see what I'm doing. You can move this and drop here like this, just like you normally do. And it goes into the folder. Or you can simply come here. You can simply copy. You can equally come here and make a copy and go paste inside that folder as well, right? And go paste inside this folder. That's if you have it scattered. Sorry. That's if you have it scattered inside your Google Drive already and you need to organize them. Sorry, I'm using my personal, drive, okay? But don't worry, you won't see anything scary. All right, so that's what it is about moving your files, into a folder. Again, it just helps to organize if it's in folders. So it's very important if you put them all together in a folder drive. Okay. The next question is on, I wish I have someone help me post those questions on the chat so that I can just take them one after the other. So I think there was a question.
How to
Moderator,
integrate the tools.
okay, how to integrate the tools. If you can help me post them in the chat box, I will just take them one after the other so that we can, yes. How to integrate the tools. So let's go back again. Let me quickly say here that we may not necessarily have all the time to go through all of these practical sessions, but I can guarantee you that if you take out time, to run through them, they are very, very simple. They are very self-explanatory. I can assure you, they are very self-explanatory. Let's look at Trello to demonstrate that integration, for example. I think the network is a little bit slow. And then maybe as that opens up, for Zoom whiteboard, the whiteboard feature is equally there. You can activate it. Okay, it's open now. Let's assume we need to, integrate Teams. This is Teams. Look at this logo. We are currently on Slack, and we need to integrate Teams or Slack. I beg your pardon, we are on Trello. And we want to integrate Teams or Slack. All right, you could click on Slack, and you click on Open Slack, if you can see what I'm doing. But of course, you would have had your Slack also opened, your Slack account equally open on this, browser, to make it very simple and easier for you. So it's trying to open up. So that's why I said it's very self-explanatory. It just links you up, to Slack. And if you come here as well and you click on Team, and you want to click on Team, you see it say Open in Teams. I hope you can see my screen. The same thing that we did when we were going to do. The network is slow, but it's as simple as that. And then you can integrate either your Slack or your Team into your Trello. Okay? If you want to have your mail, look at this page, for example, it gives an instruction. Once you click on it to integrate, it gives an instruction that you send an email to this particular email. So you right click and just copy this link address. Okay, you can copy this link address, and then you go to the particular email that you use for opening this Trello. Okay, and you go and send an email from there. Okay, I don't think this is the email I use for opening the Trello, but that is what it is. Okay, that is what it is for linking your integrating and linking other tools directly to whichever one you are working on. All right, see, now on Trello, Microsoft Teams is open currently on Trello. Okay, you can either download the window app or you can use the web version instead, and it's going to launch it. But don't forget, we are still inside this Trello. Okay, so it's very simple, and when it is completed, you'll be able to navigate your Trello, right, within, your Slack or your team within your Trello. So it's pretty slow. So like I said earlier before, these are very, very simple, and they are self-explanatory. So the goal here is to practice. If you practice these things as simple as it is, right, like this, open up your system to practice them, then they will just become part and parcel of you. It's very simple and easy for you, to navigate. I'm trying to pick.
Yeah, I posted the next question.
Okay.
How to share a file link on your drive with others.
Fine. So how do you share a file link on your drive with others? So let's go and open up a drive, for example. And as usual, you click on your drive and you want to share link. Of course, there are some technicalities in sharing this link. You want to share a link and you don't want people to be able to edit that link. It's left for you to also determine that. Or you want to share a link and you only want people to view it. All right. So you are the one who will also determine that. Let's say, for example, this is let me practice with a document, for example. All right. This is or let's use this, maybe a PDF file. This is a PDF file, right? And we want to share this PDF file. I want to share it with people to be able to see it. Okay, so all I will do is to click on the 3 dotted buttons here, and then you will see share. All right. Now, if you just click on this share and you copy the link and share, that is one way to do it. You just click on this copy link and then you can go and drop the link wherever you want people to see it. But if you want to also share directly to people's email, you click on share and then it opens up here. You can add the person's email. Okay. Now, if it is a document, if you look at this particular window, if it is a document you are sharing, you only want the person to read the document and not be able to alter the document. Hello? Yeah. You want the person to read the document and not alter the document. You can change the settings. Look at the settings here. Let me go back. You know, we are sharing. So you put the person's email here, right? If you put the person's email here and you click done, this link will be shared with the person. And the person will be able to, although it's still retweeted, the person will be able to see that you want him or her to see that particular link. By the time the person clicks on it, they will tell you to allow. But if you want to take away all of those hurdles, just come here and say anyone with the link. So if you say anyone with the link, you can copy this link and give to the person. Or if the person has the email address, you can see it. But there's also settings. You can set your PDF document, your Word document, or whatever document you have to give how do you want people to access it. People could either access it as an editor or just as commenters and viewers. Okay. Now, if you don't want anybody to tamper with the credibility of that document, you can untick these boxes. All right. Allow editors to change permission and share. Don't allow them. Then for this, you can edit. You can click off this box as well. If you tick on that box, so they will only view, right? And they will not be able to, you know, alter what you are sharing with them. So that's how to share your file, you know, your link from Google Drive, you know, to as many persons that you want to share that with. Okay. So I think we can take the next question.
Yeah, thank you so much, Osazee, for that explanation. We'll go straight to Sokoto. We are going to be taking one question. It's from the American spaces so that we'll be able to go around the spaces.
All right.
So, Sokoto, you have the mic. Unmute and ask your question. Okay, while we wait for Sokoto, can we move to American Center?
While we wait for Sokoto, can we move to American Center?
Okay. Go ahead, Sokoto.
Go ahead, Sokoto.
Sokoto, we can't hear you. Can you drop your question on the chat box?
We can't hear you. Can you drop your question on the chat box?
We can't hear you, Sokoto. Let's have American Center, Abuja, please.
Thank you, Mr. Osazee.
You're audible. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you for this wonderful presentation. My question is on this Canva, because I do a lot of slide presentation. Sometimes my slides are just so verbose that I needed to put some items, some kind of not figure images, just to show the graphics of what I'm trying to present in that particular slide. But unfortunately, I don't know how to do it, and I have I don't know how to do it. They will say, okay, we'll teach you. But from this Canva you mentioned today, it appears that it's possible for what to do it with the slide, when I'm preparing a slide, that I can put some kind of to it, while I will reduce the number of words I put on the slide. Is it possible? Thank you.
All right, so quickly, you want me to quickly respond to that?
Yeah, please do.
Okay, so once again, yeah, thank you for the question. I think my protection is that you.
I don't know. There is a mic that is on that is causing echo. Please keep yourself muted if you are not talking.
Hello.
Yeah, you can talk now. Thank you.
I think the feedback is gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
So, yeah. So, like I said earlier, you can see I came to Canva and I click on presentations. It can be very, very simple, right? This is presentation. And when you click on presentation on Canva, it opens a lot of, slides for you. If you want to create a blank slide, you can, but it opens a lot of slides for you, So take, for example, you want to do something around, whatever. So you see this one has 10 slides. If you click on it, what you just need to do for this as a slide, all that you need to do is to look at it. Does it fit into what you want to do? Right? If it fits into what you want to do, click on each of these items. As you click on them, for example, okay, right, click on customize this template. When you click on customize template, and then you click on each of those items and just fill in the details that you want to fill in, which you already have. And then you talk about how to import graphics. It's pretty simple, okay? It's simple in importing graphics. This is the opening slide, for example. When you look at the base, you see several other slides, right? And if you use either your arrow key, your side arrow key on your keyboard, you see them moving. You see them moving. So this is a template that you can use, but you can tweak it and change the pictures and change. So this is a complete presentation slide. So instead of worrying yourself to create a slide from scratch, if this falls into what you think you are good with, and of course, this is not a premium, for example, I'm using a free tier. This is not premium. You can easily just take this, click here and put the particular picture, maybe the logo of what you want to do, put your topic and whatever here, put date and what have you. I mean, the slide I'm presenting, this morning, I just looked for a simple slide this morning. Everything here was edited. I deliberately had to edit, this particular slide, and this is what I'm using. Of course, things like this, I have to import them and bring them and just add them because it's just to show what I'm talking about. Okay, so it's pretty very simple for you to use if you just take our time to still practice more. And when you are done with that, this is a presentation. Everything here is together. So you come to share. You click on this share. This time around, like when we practice, we did graphics. This time around, you are not going to download. You click on this download button, but you are not going to download graphics. You are not going to download. It's saying PDF. If you want your slide in PDF, fine. But you can also download it in PPT, S. This is Microsoft PowerPoint slide, so that you can open it still in Microsoft PowerPoint when you don't have internet and still be able to edit it. You can click on this and you can download it. And that makes it very, very simple. So I believe if you practice that, you would be able to get it right. These things are very, very self-explanatory. It only requires practice.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for that explanation. Can we take questions from Ibadan? American Space Ibadan. Unmute, please.
Good afternoon, and well done, Mr. Speaker. Please expatiate further on the use of Trello and Slack.
Okay. So Trello and Slack, they are very versatile tools. And like I said, if you're really very interested in it, what I'm doing today is basic, is quite basic. These are basic, US digital tools that are very beneficial. And I'm also saying that ability to navigate these tools increases your employability for those of, and it also, for young people, it increases your employability. For middle-aged people, it increases your efficiency, right, at your place of work. It organizes you. And even for the very older people, it still organizes you. So, but if you really want to get into the point of really very versatile with Slack and Trello, then you have to be, taking some project management courses. It will not be, we do not necessarily have all of the time to go bit by bit and bit by bit, but the goal is to whet your appetite and let you know that you can easily come on board these platforms and still navigate the basic features of these platforms. It's very, very simple. But taking it deeper and getting to understand truly how to use it for different projects and all of that, then real-life scenarios we have to be simulated. I mean, real-life scenarios will have to be developed for you to really understand all of those features. So again, I challenge you, just go and open a free account on it and look around all of the few ones we already looked around, like creating an account, and then, for Trello, for example, create an account, create to-do list, and all of that. So you will be able to get an understanding of what that looks like.
Thank you so much for that. And I think they can also get free videos for beginners on YouTube. So you can go to YouTube, watch it several times, and then you'll be able to pick that up.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you so much. Can we have questions from Bauchi? Bauchi?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much for the presentation. And my question is about all the accounts we mentioned. What if for the security threat, you have an account on the Google Drive, Trello, and the cover? So how could that be possible for a tender person to protect his account? You earlier stated on using the two-factor authentications. So is there any other measures to protect somebody's account? Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Are you saying how to protect your account, your files on Google Drive? If I heard you rightly.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, great.
You said what?
How to protect files, yes, on Google Drive.
Okay. Well, I would, unless you have a shared Google Drive, right? Otherwise, I would say the first thing is for your personal Google account, okay? And then if you have a shared Google Drive, for example, then I wonder why you want to protect the files again, because if 3 of us agree to work on a particular file on Google Drive, then it may not be necessary to still want to protect that files because 3 of us are working on it. If you feel there's someone that should no longer be there, take the person off. But general security, I would say, for your Google account is make sure you do your 2FA. That's the simplest security you could do. Go to your Google account, and activate your two-factor authentication, which could be both your email, an additional email, or, you can secure it with an additional device as well. So that will secure your Google Drive at least, because of course Google has their own security, so they have a way of securing their platforms as well. So, but I think that's much better.
I think that's the best way to go. Use the
Absolutely.
two-factor verification. That way you protect your account, whether they're social media or your Google account. Thank you so much. Can we take questions from Calabar? Calabar, please unmute yourself.
Calabar, please. Okay, good day. Good day, everyone. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
My question is, thank you very much for the wonderful selection. My question is, in your experience, what are the most effective ways to integrate event management with collaboration platform to improve engagement? Then secondly, what strategy would you recommend for ensuring that shared digital workspace don't become overwhelming with too many tools and notifications?
It's not very clear. I didn't hear you clearly. Take it slowly, please.
If you can come closer. In your experience, what are the most effective ways to integrate event management tools with collaboration platform to improve engagement? And secondly, what strategy would you recommend for ensuring that shared digital workspaces don't become overwhelming with too many tools and notifications?
Okay. So everything has a purpose, right? Just like all of these US digital tools, there may be a number of them, and the beauty of them is integration, right? But nevertheless, they all still stand very, very unique, depending on what you really want to do, depending on the magnitude of what you really want to do. If you have something to do with just 3 to 5 persons, well, if it's just 3 of you, a one-time thing that you're going to do, you can just use a Google Doc to do whatever you want to do. But the goal of sharing all of this with you is because we are hopeful that you can navigate all of these tools and be employable ready, or how do you speak the English, right? So you will be ready. You at any point in time there's an opportunity, you are ready. That's the goal of exposing you to all of these tools. It doesn't necessarily mean that 2-3 persons should start working on Slack and all that. And the assignment is that you should even come together, as groups. So it cannot be overwhelming if you're using it to do the specific tasks that you really actually, want to use them to do. Just stay focused on what you should use them to do. And the best event management tool, like you say, if you want to manage, if you are planning an event, again, there is no best event management tools. It is specific based on what you want to do. If your event is over 500 or something, I would recommend start with
Eventbrite.
Yes, you can create it with Eventbrite, but if you want to build a community with that conference, then you've got to go to Slack. Slack is a beautiful way of building a community such that in the entire Slack community, you can have, different groups, and the DMs are still there. And yet you still have small groups coming together. You have focus groups. You want to have a conference, and in the conference, you are going to have maybe 5 different breakout sessions in the conference. Before you start the conference, you can expose potential participants who are registered to already start doing those engagements in these different groups. So you realize that in the entire Slack community, that your conference in the Slack community is becoming very, very engaging and profitable to everyone who are on the Slack. So it depends on what you want to do. What is the nature of the event, and what is the size of the participant?
Yeah, thank you so much. So each tool has a specific role to play in managing our events or whatever work we are planning. Thank you so much. Can we have Meduguri?
Thank you, sir, for this impeccable presentation. It was very impactful. You mentioned earlier that you are encouraging young people to create an account in LinkedIn, and previous presenters also did. Days ago, I was creating a LinkedIn account, and I came across an option that was asking me to get whether I want to get a job or not. And for me, I am a 100 level student in a university. Do you encourage, I indicate that I want a job or not? That's how my question goes. Thank you.
So the question is whether you want to get a job or not? Is that what
do you encourage as a 100 level student?
Okay,
I should indicate whether I want a job or not.
All right. Thank you very much. Again, well, there are course advisors in several universities of learning who understand this better, okay? Because number one, I don't know the terrain of your school, the academic pressures, even though you are a 100 level student, but so is the job really needed? Okay, so I think it will be best to meet with an academic advisor who is able to measure, right, your current academic capacity, and if that can really work with maybe a freelance, a remote job that doesn't demand too much, fine. So a course advisor should sit down with you and see if it's possible for you to, because a lot of people say we work in school, but it's not so easy. What is a little bit easy is internship, right? If a person is paying you, for even as small as graphics design, as soon as the person is calling and you are not delivering that graphics design, you can become very disorganized and perhaps you have a test or exam. So kind of be careful with that and try to sit down with a course advisor or a counselor in the school system who understand that school system to be able to guide you whether you should take that job or not. Again, it also depends on the kind of job. You can't do a 247 job. You can't do a full 8 to 5 job because you're a student. If at all you will do anything, it should be something very small that is helping you to learn, right? It's helping you to learn and further improve on your skill, okay, while you're studying. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, sir, for that. Can we take question from Zaria? Zaria, unmute and ask your question. We have some questions on the chat box. Somebody was asking if, okay. Zaria, go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you for the wonderful presentation. My question is not actually on the digital tools, it's something different. I'm interested in learning project management, so I'm not sure where to start from. So I'm asking for a guide on the best learning path and the essential framework to go with, and also if there are resources or courses to learn from. Thank you.
All right. Well, congratulations. And if you want to delve into the field of project management, I can say to you that it's an amazing field, and I want to encourage you to pursue it. So for a start, of course, I know that the next session after this is still going to dwell more on this, so I didn't put anything around this on my slide. But for a start, I would encourage you to do a personal study first, and then you could do, there's a platform called Coursera. You may want to sign up there and look out for, but some of the courses in Coursera are paid, some are free, but just sign up on Coursera. But watch a number of YouTube videos and then pursue certification after you have learned the concept. I hope that one day, maybe soon, the leadership of the American Spaces Nigeria will equally want to run a boot camp, specifically on some of these fields, like maybe project management or software product management or whatever you. If that happens, congratulations, right? So, but otherwise, there are a lot of places you could learn online, but learning the skill or going through the course without taking the certification is not really, advisable. So I would really encourage that, apart from learning and getting to understand what project management entails, attempt to take at least a certification. This is something that you have to pay something so that you can be globally certified as a project manager. Because if you go on LinkedIn and say, I am now a certified project manager, of course, you are attracting, interested clients to yourself. But if you're not a certified project manager and say, oh, you just learned it, a number of persons may not want to engage you. So, yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Osazee, for that reply. I think the best way to get started as a beginner is to start from YouTube videos, and then you can explore free trainings in Coursera, like he mentioned, or Udemy. These are where you can sign up with them and then take some courses before you can now take certified courses. All right. So let's take the questions on the chat box and then we wrap up. I think there's a question from Sokoto. He's saying, how can I use Canva beyond the normal graphics like presentation?
Yeah, I think I already shared that.
Yeah,
like
you said
presentation,
some.
I
you
created on presentation already.
Yeah, you said something like that. Then somebody will ask question from Abiekuta. He said, you did mention of how the work could be downloaded and shared. That is in Canva.
I also did
Under
that.
it, you mentioned something like NNG. That is the format.
PNG.
Yeah.
So I think I've done that as well. Unless
You've done
I think
that, yeah.
That was
You
after.
can
That was
either,
before.
you can either download using the PNG format or the JPG. These are formats that you can use to download pictures, except the person wants to download using just a PDF format. But the best to download pictures is PNG and JPG. Then question from Sokoto said, can we have access to the documents? Yes, through your directors, you have access to read. And somebody from, how can I keep my documents as file in a Google? I think he has explained that. How to create a folder. He has explained that. And then somebody was like, to think that I paid someone money to make a logo design for me when I could just do it myself on Canva. Okay. Wow. So the person is like, practice, practice, practice. In fact, that is the key word, practice. Go to YouTube and then watch the videos like 7 times. I mean, you'll be an expert. You'll be able to design whatever you want to design. If you are using Canva and all that, even if you want to collaborate using Google Doc, how to save your files, it's just practice. These things are very simple. They are very easy. It's just to practice and navigate, try to navigate through the buttons. You'll see that you'll be perfect. So thank you so very much, Osazee, for this wonderful presentation. It's very practical and you can really relate easily. Thank you so much. Even I learned a lot of tools like I learned new tools today like the Trello. I've not heard of, and I'm so glad to learn about that today and how to really integrate these tools to work smarter. I'm very happy to be part of this session, and we thank you for sharing your wealth of knowledge with regard to how to apply these digital tools to enable us work smartly. Thank you very much. Can we put a round of applause?
Okay, so just a minute. Thank you. I just wanted to Like I said initially, I wanted to emphasize on this a little. For those who are really very interested, I think a couple of weeks ago, maybe last month or so, there was a series also carried out by American Space on volunteering. And I want to encourage that you listen to those videos again. Now, if you are getting conversant with this tool, it is very important to learn to intern it by volunteering for a small group or a company. If you volunteer, I have learned a number of these digital tools. Nobody ever taught me these tools. I learned a number of these tools and I became proficient with a number of them because I found someone to volunteer for. There are many platforms, especially as young people, that you could volunteer. In your state, there's something called Yearly Network. There's something called United States Government Exchange Alumni Association. These are networks that they are organizations that would always open their doors to volunteers. Learn any of these skills and say, let me help you. Let me help my state chapter. You may not necessarily be an alumni of the United States Exchange, program, but you could benefit from that network by volunteering, to help with graphics design, to help with any of these skills that you are proficient with, and you don't know where that can get you to. So I just want to end by saying that this is something that I will call next steps for you, that you should be consistent in practicing and take a step to volunteer. Go to a school, go to somewhere and volunteer these skills. That's the only way you can gain mastery of it, because you cannot easily get people paying you now to do this, but you can gain mastery by volunteering for people. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Osazee, for this wonderful presentation. Can we encourage him by giving him can we give him a round of applause? Thank you so much. So I'll hand over the mic to Dr. Aram to appreciate our resource persons and all the participants of today's session. Thank you so much.
Very much, Professor Egenti, for such wonderful moderation. First of all, let me sincerely appreciate our resource person. Today was awesome. Today I heard, just like Prof said, I heard several tools I never heard before now, and I was really impacted. Thank you very much. It was a very powerful session. I know that any person American Spaces choose for any program, they're always resourceful, and we didn't expect anything less. Thank you very much. We are sincerely grateful. And I also want to appreciate all the American corners across the Federation. And I won't mention everybody's name, but almost everybody is here, and I can see participants from all over the country, and everybody is happy. Thank you very much for joining us, and you can testify as well that it was indeed an impactful session. Before we round off, I would really wish to intimate every one of us of some programs that are coming up for the week. I remember that this youth development series holds every Tuesday by 1:30 p.m. till 3:30 p.m. So don't just stop coming, keep coming. And of course, you know that you require 80% attendance if you must get our certificates. So please make use of this opportunity and make sure you are there. Tomorrow we'll be gathering again by 10 a.m. in the morning for our Education USA advising. Okay, then on Friday we'll be having our master class on e-library USA. You can see that the screen is being shared. I bet you that masterclass is going to be so much amazing, especially for some of us in the academic sector, researchers, and even people that are not researchers, but you would want to expand your horizon to, get to know several other things, both ebooks, audiobooks, peer-reviewed journals, dissertation and thesis, even American magazines, hundreds of movies, and lots more. So even if you're not a researcher, you might be watching movies. So the masterclass will be holding on Friday by 10 a.m. in the morning. Friday is the 12th day of September. So I encourage every one of us to be present during that program. And
Dr. Edwin is having challenge with his network. Okay.
There's going to be a very important program hosted by History and Culture Series. Friday is the 11th day of September, music and popular culture. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead. We can hear you.
Me?
We can hear you, although we lost you at some point.
Okay. I'm so sorry for that glitch. Now, I was saying that on Thursday, we'll be having another important program, which is the Promoting American History and Culture Series. And it's going to be holding on Thursday, being the 11th day of September, with the title, Exploring the Influence of American Music on Popular Culture. Please, I encourage every one of us to be part of that program. So after Thursday, then the masterclass will be on Friday. But tomorrow by 10, like I said earlier on, we are going to be having our Education USA advising session. And it's usually an impactful time. So thank you very much for joining us. I wouldn't know whether our boss from the American USinNigeria, Professor Itai, would have one or two things to say before we call it a day.
Servant, you mean? Thank you very, very much, Dr. Aram.
Sorry, I didn't get you, sir.
I say your servant, you mean? So thank you very much, Dr. Haram, and then Professor Martha Agenti for coordinating this session. We appreciate you very much. Mr. Osazee, we thank you very much for coming. We are very, very appreciative. There's a question from Zaria. Please just use Canva Premium cost on your Google. You will see the first result is where you get the answer to your question. And with this, we say thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful day. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.